We're up. Right. Much gooder. All right, got some people jumping on already. Got some likes. Nice. Hopefully our turnout's a little bit better than last time. Everybody, everybody hear me all right? Is the picture coming through good? Let me know over here in the beep boops. Any word on increasing production? Right off the bat, man. Andrew Oles. Andrew, we're going to get to that. Of course you had to. Of course you had to, Alan. Give more green. All right. Give her a couple more minutes. And by that, I mean like 45 seconds, and we'll get going. Ooh, update for you guys. Let me see if I got my. You'll like this. This is pretty neat. There it is. Check this out. You guys will see this before I put it up. This is a brand new Kuma lathe that's getting brought in. It got brought in today. So, better? Worse? There it is. Brand new Kuma lathe. Brought that in today. So, to answer your question, Mr. Andrew, yes, we are increasing production. Anyways, all right, let's get going. We got 22 people on, some likes. You know, we'll take a look at some of these. All right. I'm going to answer one question, and then we'll get into the new stuff that you guys are here to look at and check out. Why did LMT change its name? Was it a marketing move? So LMT has always been LMT. You guys know that. What you've commonly known us as is Lewis Machine and Tool. Lewis Machine and Tool is the name that we've been under and operated under since 1980. So 40 years ago. What we did basically when we started playing around with, you know, our name and things, you know, about 4 years ago, I think is when we switched. We wanted to be more known for what we are. We produce rifles. We manufacture firearms here. We're not just a tool shop anymore. You know, in the past, we made a lot of parts for a lot of companies, made a lot of parts for the government, and that's how we got started. Was making replacement bolts for the Department of Defense on the M16s, and then later on, serving Persian Gulf War, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. We made 203 barrels, you know, replacements. So for the longest time, we were a manufacturer that went by Lewis Machine and Tool, because that's what we did. We manufactured things. So now we're, you know, a defense contractor. One of the probably the best one in the industry. One of the bigger ones that you guys have seen and grown with. So yeah, that's why the name change. LMT Defense. We're a defense contractor. And that's where we're going. So segue into that, we have some new products that we're coming out. You know, for the folks that follow the fan groups, the LMT owners group, LMT defense owners group, we talked about this. Basically the same group, two different places to find it. there's been an upper floating around on there that one of the members has been trolling with. That is our new upper receiver, one of 3 new upper receivers, stuff that you guys have been asking for. It just so happens that other people were asking for it as well. Looking at defense people in our international contracts. First one right here. Boom. This is a mid-length rail. Hold on a sec. I'll show you the comparison. Again, you guys would go nuts if you got to come in here and hang out. So, boom, right there. Yep, lined up. That's the size difference. This is the Carbine Rail that most of you guys probably already have in M-Lock. And then we have the new mid rail. So this was done up for U.S. military agency who was looking to improve their lethality. That's the new big buzzword, I guess, in the armed forces, lethality, because a lot of things have been one way for a long time. I was fortunate enough to spend some time in the U.S. Army as well. Our qualifications were very simple. I was an artilleryman, so we didn't spend a lot of time with small arms, just before pre-deployment workups, that sort of stuff. You go out with our Mark 19s, the Madus, M4s, M16s, that sort of stuff. The qualification for rifle is very simple: standing, kneeling, prone, and then you have to score for marksman, expert, or sharpshooter. Marksman, sharpshooter, expert. This unit has to qualify much more differently. Time is taken into consideration as well as precision. And there is no middle score. It's a pass or fail. So nice thing is this longer rail gives you room for attachments by putting your hand out there as well. And then mounting a laser, because part of their qualification is to shoot under nods with a laser or forward aiming device. So they need the strength that they weren't getting currently. So that's a big one right there. Very cool. So you guys will be seeing this in February. A lucky few of you will be able to pick one of these up with our initial drop in February. We're not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be. It'll be in the month of February, though. So let me look at some of this before you get all crazy, because I'm not reading these as we go. Let's see. $2021 Tano. Nope, we're done. Did one run. What's the minimum barrel length for the mid upper? So right now we're producing this guy. This is a 12.5-inch mid gas. The idea behind this was we needed it to run good, suppressed and unsuppressed, and specifically with the Surefire can. So we came up with this guy right here. Works really good, suppressed and unsuppressed. We can go to a 12-inch. That would be the shortest you could fit in that upper receiver, but you'll have to go back to the carbine gas. So cut down a 14.5 or something. But this bad mammer jammer runs really good, both suppressed and unsuppressed. And its goal was to shoot really good with M855 Alpha 1. And if you guys are up to speed on that, M855 Alpha 1 is very nasty. It's a fast, high-pressure round, but terminal ballistics and stuff when it hits things is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So, but it eats up barrels. Nice thing about the MRP is you can quick change the barrel. If you're good at it, about 45 seconds is how long it takes you to change it. So, how much does the mid rail MLR? I'm guessing you meant MRP. So this doesn't. I don't have an exact measurement. I'm not gonna try to pull it out anywhere, but it doesn't weigh much more than this guy. It's a little bit longer, but what we also did was, you can see, drop the QD swivels off the front. We just extended these M-lock rails out, these M-lock positions, drop these QDs off, and that saved us a little bit of weight. Obviously, there's a lot of material here, and you can see. So reduce some of that weight on the front. These guys weren't interested. QD swivels is mechanical. They can get dirty, it can rust, it can fail. It can make noise. So they were a big fan of the Frank Proctor sling, the Way of the Gun sling, which just uses a 550 cord with a little bit of surgical tubing to kind of cinch it up tight. And that is a really fantastic sling, and it works really well, especially for what they're doing. So I don't know the exact weight, but it makes a good balanced gun. So a couple more of your questions. We will drop them straight to the website. Yeah, so it'll keep an eye on the website for the month of February. We'll make a post more about it, but yeah, keep an eye on the website. You'll see them show up there. 12.5 mid gas barrel only. Yeah, that will be an option. M855 Alpha 1 is a proof round? No, Google it, man. The M855 Alpha 1 EPR, Enhanced Performance Round. They basically got rid of the steel core. Try to understand, remember a cross section. Got rid of steel core and put a tungsten arrow in there. And the arrow is a little bit smaller than what the steel core was. And then there's a lot more solid copper behind it. But it is a crazy round. So, all right. So extension tubes, BCGs. I know you guys are going nuts about when this will be ready. Will this be ready? We'll get into that. Okay. So just more talk there, guys. This is the big thing that we've got going on. We're in the middle of the midpoint of our contract with Estonia. Along with that, we mentioned in the other one, picked up a grenade launcher contract for the U.S. Department of Defense. That's a big one as well. That, along with our current back order of rifles from the commercial market, rifles and parts, and then our LE contracts, all the other little smaller international things, that's eating our production. I showed you that video. We brought a new lathe in. We are doing better on production, much better than our initial projections for 2021 Q1 looked like. So we are getting more stuff out. Your dealers are seeing more stuff. It'll be a while until you see a fully stocked website. It probably won't be fully stocked until 22, to be honest with you. You just need to bear with us. Place your back order with your dealer. That is key. If you don't have a back order in with somebody, chances are you're not going to get anything for a while. If you're just waiting for it to show up on the website or in your LGS, your local gun shop, just an enhanced bolt carrier group hanging out, it's probably not going to happen. I would like to see that. And then you'll be able to find those parts readily available at below MSRP values. But that's not a reality that we're facing with today's political climate. So I know there's a lot of people that kind of waited to get into the LMT game, or we're looking at it, weighing some prices and this and that. Well, a lot's happened in the last, we'll call it year. A lot's happened. So we got COVID. We had some civil unrest last summer here in our local town. We had several riots, night-long riots. And I don't want to make it sound bad, compared to some cities that were under siege for weeks. You have to understand that there's a lot going on, and we are trying. We have daily meetings about how to get you people more gear. So we are working on it. Please, I will never stop answering your questions. If you call in, we'll tell you no every single day. Especially about green anodized. I don't know why you guys haven't gotten that yet, but eventually you'll understand. So yeah, we are working on things. We are getting production there, and you will see more stuff. So if I can give you any bit of advice, consumer to consumer, place your back order. Call up your local dealer, V1 Tactical, Titan Defense, Boss Firearms, Primary Arms, Tombstone Tactical, Allegiant Rifle Works. There's another good one. They were the ones for all the Tano. Give them a call. Say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I need a barrel. I need an upper. I need a lower. Bolt carrier group, bolt, firing pin, ejector spring. Give them a call. Let them know what you're after. Then your back order will get fulfilled eventually. It's not going to speed up anything considerably, but if you're waiting for it to be on our website, it's going to be a hot second. Yes, we still do make the New Zealand reference rifle. Yes, we still make bolt carrier groups. Yes, we still make the 37 mil flare launcher. However, it's in the production workup. We are getting there. It just might be a second. So yeah, we haven't discontinued any products, with maybe the exception we're leaning a little back on LM8. M-Lock and Mrp Rail are still the reigning king for format of upper receivers. So LM8, we might be pumping the brakes a little bit on to focus more on M-Lock, because one of the things that we have to focus on is efficiency. So we're getting there. Are we going to contract Anderson manufacturing to help make uppers and lowers? There are, again, only 5 forges, so they could help us out. No, we're not going to lean on Anderson to make uppers and lowers for us. So MSRP on mid-length, it's going to be around your typical retail of around $900, something like that, $800 or $900 for the upper. And then if you're looking at a barreled combo, probably about 12, so. M16A4, we actually made way back in the day. Our SPMs, we actually made a 20-inch model. So that was way back in the day. Unfortunately, I probably won't jump back into any M16, M4 variants. We're really putting all of our production power into MRP. It is a superior upper. If you want an M16, there are a lot of good options out there for you. If we were to start breaking in and doing more of that older stuff like the SPMs or the M4s, the AR-15s, the traditional ones, that would take time away from all the uppers and barrels on the MRP side. So we're going to go with that. Digital donut. Will full pocket cut lowers be available soon? I'm guessing you're talking about the cut in the lower receiver for the auto sear on a semi-auto gun. No, we don't do that. There was one run that we did, and it wasn't even intended for U.S. distribution, but we sold it U.S. distribution just to get rid of them. It was an international customer who was going to modify them overseas, make them full auto. We don't do that. There's no one. I mean, if you have the intention of making machine gun, go ahead and. That little pocket isn't going to stop you for drilling that third hole. If you're going to make a machine gun, you've got your stuff squared away. You know what you're doing. A little zip with a mill. I mean, heck, it could even be in a drill press with a little machinist vise. That lower cut, the lower shelf isn't going to stop you from making a machine gun. So if you got it, man. Go ahead and do it. Why do we produce LMT? Why does LMT produce semi-auto bolt carrier groups? We covered this in the last video. Basically, CYA, it's a machine gun part. We're not going to put those in semi-auto guns and end up under some scrutiny. That's an ownership call. Yeah, it might be more efficient to make only M16 bolt carrier groups. But, hey, we've gotten this far by not changing things. If you want an M16 carrier, we sell them. They're on, they're not on the website now, but we do sell them. So, go ahead and pick that up, or you can grab one of the enhanced carrier groups. So, let's go and take a look real quick at the other upper that you guys are interested in seeing. So this is the Border Patrol EDF upper receiver. Everybody that owns a piston is going to want one of these. So a nice thing is you can put your flashlight up here. You know, this typically would, so if we had our QD swivel, it would be right about here. Where's my, there it is. For reference, right there. Okay. So QD swivel would drop one right here. That means that your flashlight, your M-lock rail for your flashlight's not going to start until here. So that means your hand can only come up this far. So by putting this extended out here, you can put the flashlight way out here. There's no QD swivels again. Flashlight way out there, that means your hand can come up here. So if you do that, that C-over grip, the C-clamp grip, you can come up right here and have much more control of the weapon system versus if you had the shorter upper receivers. So that's what the customer wanted. You can also tell this one's a little bit wider. We use a CSW forging for this. So if you're a good M-lock owner, MRP owner, you know that you have to remove your M-lock sections to get the barrel out. On this one, you do not. It's pretty cool. You can leave those in there, pull your barrel, swap it out with a gas. The standard gas ones will fit. Your gas block will just be exposed right there. So no real point to it. You can go with the special ops upper, the spec war upper. You can go with one of those and be good to go there. But this is a very unique upper. 14.5 looks good in it. 16-inch looks good in it. You can see there's the overall profile. And this is actually an Estonia gun. So you could tell new grip. And this is the one that has the shot counter in it. They chose the Magpul SL stocks. Here's something neat for you guys. Let's see if you can see it. Right there. Serial number 1 on the Estonia gun. This one's pretty cool. So yeah, if you guys are interested, keep an eye on this because we will drop these as well. Only a couple of them in the month of February on the website. So keep your eye open for it. One of you lucky guys or gals can snag one of these new uppers and check it out. Runs good. So let's see. Any improvements on the MRP torque wrench, making it smaller or adjustable for other parts in the rifle? No. So we don't want to go crazy on the torque wrench. We want it to stay very particularly for the barrel, because what you would do is if you changed it for something else or had removable bits, you'll use it for other things. We didn't want to make it adjustable. We didn't want to make it, you know, we came from the old one. The old one was a great big regular torque wrench. Well, what happens is guys will use them in the garage for other projects. They forget to turn the torque setting back, or it gets out of spec or something, and they'll break the heads off. So the slip type torque wrench is extremely useful. And you know, I've probably done well over 1,000 barrel changes in my career with LMT, and I've never seen one fail. I've never seen one not work right. Never broken a bolt on the range or anything like that. So it works the way it's supposed to. We don't want to mess with it because it's got one purpose only. Will that grip be available without the shot counter? Yes, it will. As a matter of fact, very soon. So keep an eye out for it. Gonna auction off number 1. Nope, it's going in the vault. You don't give away something like that. Come on. Estonia drop with or without the barrel. It's going to be just the upper. So. The old torque wrench was junk. I like the new one. Rody, you are correct. So going back to the spec or upper. Nice thing about this is when you run lasers on it. Yeah, look at that. You guys probably never seen one of these before. So the nice thing about this is if you barricade on this, you don't get flex. And that's important, especially when you're shooting at targets that shoot back. You want to be able to load up, get a stable position, make sure that shot is taken accurately from your optic, looking through your eye. You don't want it wobbling all over the place. But what you don't also want to do is flex that upper receiver from the barrel. And guys who, you own these MRPs, you know that if you grab this and try to flex that upper receiver, it ain't moving anywhere. So that's the nice thing is you can load these up on a barricade and not see a shift. And that's what's really important with these is you don't want to see that shift. Because then 100 yards, 200 yards downrange, your rounds are off target. That's no good for anybody. So we're going to be focusing a lot this year on the MRP in general, with a basis towards lasers and night vision. So, and even on our 308 platforms, the MWS, the 6.5, all that stuff, be on the lookout. You'll see more content with clip-on thermals and night vision devices, and then obviously lasers shooting on the range with nods and stuff. So keep an eye out for that because that's going to be one of our key things. Another good setup for that upper receiver, so you can see where the flashlight sits. Typically, that's where your QD swivel would go, and then you'd have your flashlight way back here. But this allows you to come up here, key up your light, do everything you got to do without worrying about sacrificing what people are now calling rail estate. So you've got space here. You don't want to sacrifice it. It needs to be where it needs to be when you need it. So be on the lookout for those. And the same with our long upper receiver on the 308. That one, I don't have one of those here to show you, but it's real simple. Same thing, just about 3 inches longer. Basically what that's allowing you is longer rail for bigger clip-on devices, longer platform for stretched out bipod, that sort of stuff. So if you're in the long range shooting, you'll definitely like that for your MWS. Let's see, how much of the LMT laser? LMT laser is not going anywhere. We played around with it. It's just it's really nice actually. It's government spec only. There's a certain limit to how much wattage, milliwatts or something like that, or strength your IR light can put out, or IR laser can put out, and this one's over what civilians can buy. I think they can own it, but they just can't buy it. It's weird. Don't ask me how that works. But it works good. It's very simple. It's high and low intensities, and then either constant on or remote switch. So we have that. And we really use them just for testing and playing around at the range for demos. How would you change a barrel out of a monolithic upper, you say? You don't know this? This is your first time? Gotcha. We're here to teach. So let me grab some screws real quick. I'm going to pull them out of this guy. All right. So if you are, come on. Washer, right. Man, get me in the moment. I fumble it. Okay. So changing an MRP barrel. These are very crucial. Don't lose this. I know a lot of people that maybe the older ones, they had washers, 2 small washers instead of this big one. Make sure you don't lose this, because as soon as you torque down an upper without it, you'll crush in the aluminum right there around that little hole. So don't do that. Otherwise, you'll be calling me and say, Joe, how do I fix this? And I'll basically tell you, get out your little reamers or pay to have it shipped in. No one wants to do that. So pretty simple. Let's say you've got a barrel in, okay? Loosen this rear one. Doesn't have to come all the way out. Just loosen it. Remove the front screw. Here's what's neat about that front screw. It actually, let's see if I can get it here. Come on. It actually keys with the barrel. So you can see that little notch right there. The screw keys with that, so even if it's loose, it can't come out. And it prevents rotation, so it won't rotate once it's inside the upper. So you just take your barrel, just drop it in. So you drop it in all the way like that. You'll line up the gas tube first. Make sure that you can see through that hole. Put your screw in. And you just tighten it down. It's pretty simple. Do I not have a torque wrench right here? Leave it to me to be unprepared. Caught me off guard with that question. I can't believe it. I don't have one. But anyways, tighten it down. So I use I keep a T30. That's all it is, the T30 Torx. So tighten it down. Go to the front one. So imagine if you had the torque wrench. It's a little black cylinder. And once you get it to 140 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds, it'll slip. And when it slips, it'll, it prevents over-torquing of that bolt. So do the back, do the front. And it's just like tighten up lugs on a wheel. Come back, do it again. And that makes sure that you've got it completely torqued down the way it needs to be. So what I can do is I can now pull this out of this upper and change it out for a 300 Blackout or the Piston. I can put the Piston in here. This CQB upper receiver can do just about anything. You can put everything up to a 16-inch in it. You can put Piston, 300 Blackout, 6.8. We never did any 224 Valkyries that were this short. But 6.8, 5.56, 10-inch, 11-inch, So it can do it, and it's very easy. And that's the same way with 308. 308 one changes out that good too. Let's see here. Is LMT going to get in the optic space? We've talked about it. I don't know if we will or not. There's a lot of great manufacturers out there. Vortex, Night Force, Loophole, all good people, all make great products, and we use them all the time. So it would be a tough market to compete in if we were to do it. It would take a lot of effort. So maybe, maybe not. We'll see. You mentioned in the TFB video a new platform for the VBS suppressor. Were you referring to the H long upper, or is there a new suppressor mounting system coming? Good question, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know. We're not going to assume genders here. This is LMT. We're politically correct. Yes. Maybe. We'll see. Keep your eye open for some marketing from LMT. We are doing some new stuff with suppressors. Like, I'm not going to say much about it right now. It's not my place to do that. But you will see some new suppressor tech coming out of LMT, updating our VBS technology, the LL and L technology. So if you're into suppressors, if you're into that quiet game, you're going to want to stay tuned to see what we have, because what we've got is pretty cool. and it should be fairly competitive in the market for price and capabilities, if not exceeding capabilities. So stay out for that. Any plans on making all M-lock rails wider like the Border Patrol, so you don't have to remove your stuff for your barrel change? Good. Very cool question. We've had this discussion actually. I work a lot with product development here, and we had a pretty lengthy discussion about that, whether we're going to widen every rail. And the short answer is no. The long answer of why is because let's compare this guy to a traditional upper receiver where you have an upper and a handguard. Okay. If you want to change a barrel on this, it's pretty simple. Pull the screws, pull your barrel after you pull the M-lock sections. So M-lock sections, if you are familiar with them, once they're tight and situated where they need to be, let me just fumble around with this for a little bit. Cue elevator music now. I want to get in there. There it is. Okay. So once it's on, all you have to do is do like a 75% rotation, and it locks in place. And then to loosen it, you just turn it till it unlocks, and you pull it right off. So you don't have to sit there and spin a screw the whole time. It's fairly QD. You still need a tool to do it, but pulling your rails off of an M-lock thing, no one's ever really had a problem with it. So compare that to, your standard barrel change on a AR-15. You got to start usually with your handguard. To remove the handguard, you'll probably have to remove your M-lock pieces. Sometimes not. Sometimes they'll be able to pass by the gas block or whatever. So let's not, we'll keep apples to apples. Remove your handguard with your M-lock pieces on. Okay, so throw that over there. Now you've got to get your barrel nut off. Chances are to get your barrel nut off, you have to remove your gas block or your gas system. To do that, flash hider comes off, gas block and gas tube comes off, then your barrel nut, pull that off. Now you can change your barrel. Change your barrel and reverse the process, and you still got to torque down that gas block or the barrel nut, and then your gas block has to go back on. Now you've got to retime it and make sure that the screws are tight and you didn't strip them out, and maybe put a little bit of Loctite on them so they don't walk next time you heat the gun up. So yeah, there's a little bit of effort that has to be done when you change your barrel to remove your M-lock section, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to a regular AR-15 barrel change. And you do gain width with the you do gain width with this. So if you compare this guy to this guy, let me probably be easier to do this. Okay. You can see how much wider it is. And there's people that have smaller hands. You run gloved, your accessories and stuff like that, because of that, it's just going to keep getting wider in a bigger platform. So we weighed a lot of the pros and cons, and that's a very good question. I appreciate you chiming in for that one. How many barrels does someone have to buy for a production run to be made? Criterion is 100, I believe. For a production run, for us to do a production run of a special barrel, we don't really do that. And if I were to do it, I'd probably put the numbers closer to 1,000, because we don't just make barrels. Criterion makes barrels. They make very good barrels. We've got a lot of stuff going on in our machine shop. So you got to think gas blocks. You got to think of barrel extensions, and we're not a huge manufacturer for barrels. We make enough for us, but Criterion, that's all they do, pump out barrels. So it's pretty easy for them to say, yeah, we can make more barrels. Just tell us what you want. Here's your minimum quantity. So that's the big difference between a manufacturer who focuses on their barrels and a manufacturer who makes barrels for everything. So no, we won't be doing any special run barrels for anybody unless it's contract related, defense market related, or there is a big enough drive in the commercial market for it. So we do pay attention to that. And one of my jobs here as a sales manager is to understand the market, what the people want, and then figure out the efficiency in delivering that. So we want to make sure that it's there for you guys. So do you warranty Mars L lowers if the pin sizes are out of spec? We warranty everything. If it has an LMT name on it, it's going to get a warranty. If you guys call me, talk to us here in the shop, don't run off to ARFCOM or your nearest Facebook forum and say, oh, this is out of spec, you don't really know why. Come and talk to us about it. Chances are we can help you. Another thing that a lot of people don't understand is they're using Mrp upper receivers. When you use an Mrp upper receiver, you have to remember the fitment tabs. There's one there. There's one there. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe like that. I don't know. But they're right here, guys. These fitment tabs, if you pick up Mrp upper and you're putting it on your M7 SL or something like that, chances are it's not going to fit right out of the box. That fitment tab is designed so you can squeeze the upper and lower together and get a nice tight fit. If you take them completely flush, it'll fit like mil spec with maybe just a hair of rattle in it or something. But a lot of people call us up and say, I'm putting it together an all LMT, and it's got an LMT barrel and buffer tube and trigger and all that stuff, and your pins are out of spec. The pin holes are out of spec. I can't get the thing closed, this and that. And 9 times out of 10, it's even more than that. It's like 99% is those fitment tabs. And then we say, hey, here's the video on YouTube. Go check it out. This is how you fix it. And it gets squared away. And usually we don't hear back from them after we send it out because they're like, oh, I should have thought of that. Or their gumsmith on Facebook should have told them, hey, MRPs are special. You gotta get that tab down. But a little file, a little bit of work will get you a nice tight fit. It'll fit better than it normally would on a standard M16. So, keep that in mind if that's your problem. If not, hit us up. Like I said, we've never turned anybody away for a warranty issue. We're very customer service oriented. So, 13.9 or 14.5 barrels. 14.5 barrels. We're not really going to be doing barreled uppers, guys. It's going to be the upper receiver or the barrel. Reason is because, this one I could put a 12, a 12.5. 11.5 won't fit. I know someone in one of the groups was talking about it. 11.5 won't fit in this unless you feel like toasting off your hands with the flash hider. But 12, 12.5, 14.5, 16 inch, all that stuff will work in this. But that means that there's that many more SKUs that we have to build in stock, which deters away from the ability to get you products sooner or faster. So keep that in mind when you ask us for combos. That drives the efficiency down, which makes it harder for you to get product. So usually build it. If you don't buy what we have available, standard carbine or rifle or a pistol or something like that, just build your gun, and that'll be the better way to go with it. So 13.9, I see it a lot. 13.9s, 13.7s, all these Gucci links. Those are designed for pinning and welding. I believe it's the Knox mount from Dead Air. That's a very particular mount for suppressors. We're not really chasing that. D. Wilson Manufacturing. Shout out, David. Yeah, you're doing good work. Keep it up. Send him a barrel any AR barrel, he'll convert it to MRP, and he'll cut it down to whatever Gucci length you want. We're not going to be chasing barrel lengths that fit very particular mounts. Yeah, we never have, never will. So 12, 12.5, the 12 isn't even really a production length. We've done a run of them for a contract back in the day, but 12.5 will be the new length with the mid gas. So it'll be 10, 10.5, 11.5, 12.5, and then 14.5. So we're not going to do a 13.5 or something in the middle of there. No reason to at this point. So let's see what else. Why didn't the MWS lightweight barrel profile and collars spread to the other MWS and MRP barrels? MRP is a little bit different because it's smaller. Hold on, let me show you. There you go. It's a 13.5 standard weight. You can see back here how much girth it has. And there's the lightweight. Okay, but you can also tell by the size of this barrel extension how much we have to play with. Okay, so one of the things that we can do to lighten this is this part, not this part. This is still steel, but this collar right here, this is aluminum on the lightweight. On the standard one, it's steel. Okay, and it's all one piece. You can kind of see the difference there. Yep. So because of how big it is, we can play around with it and we can change those up a little bit. So on the 5.56, we don't have that luxury. I don't have a barrel here with me to show you. I got it in the gun, I guess, but we don't have the luxury on a 5.56 to play around with this much material. So we are looking at some lightweight 5.56 MRP versions. It'll really come down to the optimal caliber and barrel size. And it'll probably be one or two models, so nothing too crazy. And you say if the new VBS cans will still be OTB. I believe we will still have a couple models. The 308 specifically. We don't make an enhanced chrome or enhanced BCG in chrome. The chrome doesn't really. It helps with a lot of the cleaning, the maintenance side of it. We don't want to make that thing ridiculously priced though. So the standard one does good. Rubber City Armory though, or H&M Black Nitride, they have a service. You can send them your carrier and they'll black nitride it. So keep that in mind. That black nitride is a pretty cool feature. I ran one for a long time, shooting 3-gun. So you'll enjoy that. Check out H&M or Black Nitride and look at the service for that. Chrome lined 6 mil. I don't know who this guy is. Digital Donut 6 ARC or ARC, whatever you want to call it. Moving on. Make combat guns, man. Are you still manufacturing the L129 reference rifle and the New Zealand reference rifle for civilian market? Are they here to stay? They are here to stay. Never going away. We'll continue manufacturing them. Place your back order. Let's see. The guy come back and said the hammer pin hole is way oversized. If it is, hit us up. We'll take a look at it and get you squared away. No issues. What makes the confined space weapon unique and more expensive than the other options? Very good question. Let me run back to the vault and get you one. Boom. An FDE too, so pretty cool. What makes this thing so much more expensive is the integrated 300 Blackout VBS suppressor. So hard to see. Let me see if I got a barrel available. Right there. You guys are in luck. Here's the barrel. This is not a removable suppressor. I mean, it can be removed, but we don't recommend it. It's torqued on there. It's not intended to be pulled out. So you're looking at about an 8.5-inch barrel. With the suppressor on there, it's probably about 12, I think. So the suppressor threads back here in front of the gas block, right there. And the muzzle for it is actually right about here. And so this is where the first baffle is. And like all of our VBS technology, the round comes through, hits the first baffle, then travels to the back of the can, then follows paths on the outside inner diameter. So the majority of the gas actually comes out these little holes. Yeah, some will come out the center part, but what reduces the flash signature and all that stuff is this disruption right here. But what makes it quiet, what makes it efficient, is keeping that gas in the can longer. So that's the VBS barrel or the CSW barrel. This guy right here, purpose built. Obviously, you can see how big the upper receiver is. It's got the QD swivels on the newer models. The original model didn't have the QD swivels on it. But that barrel system slides right in there and can be removed as a unit. Very unique. But what makes this so expensive is the suppressor. It's got a suppressor built into it. So you're looking at like another $1,000 right there over the top of any other gun that we manufacture. This upper receiver is a forging, as a matter of fact. So we have short 5.56, long 5.56, 308, CSW. We have 4 upper receiver forgings that we use here on a regular basis. So it's a very particular forging, and that costs a little bit more money than our standard ones. So that's where you're seeing some of that price. We got the PDW stock as well. Neat thing about this is it has the weights in the carrier rather than in the buffer, so you can get the short little compact design, which makes shouldering with body armor that much easier. So this was designed for shipboard operations and keeping things compact, and that's what it is. So you could do this build with a standard AR carbine or something like that, but you'll have a lot of exposed suppressor. So what we did was we just threw a suppressor inside suppressed upper receiver group. I don't know, something like that. And then, yeah, that's the CSW in a nutshell. Very cool. This one is full auto. No low shelf modifications needed there. So, but an LM8. Let's see. Enhanced bolt carrier group. We have tested it with the 12.5-inch upper. I wouldn't recommend it. Enhanced bolt carrier group is not a save all. Like, it's not going to be the solution to all your problems. Enhanced bolt carrier group is a solution for a very particular issue, for overgassing or, a gun that's running a little bit fast or something like that, where you need to cool down the round and improve extraction. It's not going to reduce gas. It's not going to make your guns shoot softer. It is designed on those high pressure systems to aid in extraction and help the gun run more consistently and without failure. Failure is the key thing there, guys, not performance. We're not looking for Gucci groups or ejection pattern or something like that with the enhanced bolt carrier group is designed to enhance your performance of extraction and the performance of the weapon operation. It's not designed to be like I'm going to shoot softer and smoother with an enhanced bolt carrier group. So if you're buying it for that, man, you're gonna have some issues when you run the tuning and all that, because you're planning on this, you're planning on that. Now, because of that, it does bleed some gas off a little bit easier because it has more holes and longer dwell time and all that stuff. But don't buy it for that purpose of reducing your gas. Same with like the Surefire. The Surefire is not there to reduce gas with its enhanced cam track and the longer stroke. It's there to help the gun run full auto and with extraction. Basically the same thing what we did. They just copied us. So thanks a lot, Surefire, but hey, looks good. Let's see. What else? What else looks good? Man, a lot of these questions, I know that you guys are after certain things. We're trying to get stuff out as quickly as we can. So keep that in mind. So here's the thing. I know some people are asking me about OD Green to V1 Tactical, one of our dealers. We do have an order in for OD Green. It is Cerakote. It is not the green tanadized, the canteen green you've seen before. So if you're buying it with that impression, you need to call those guys over there and say, hey, is this tanadized or is this Cerakote? And, get that sorted out. I will tell you this, though. My favorite Cerakote is the green because it's really dark and it almost looks black, but it's not. It's green. That's my favorite. I don't like the tan. I'm not a big fan of it. Not a fan of the lighter green or the foliage or blues or reds or yellows or whatever. The OD green Cerakote, the straight OD green Cerakote is one of my favorite colors out there. So if you get it, you won't be disappointed. It's a very cool color. And it looks good with black. It looks good. I know there's some guys that run tan Cerakote with OD green Cerakote, and that looks good too. So, yeah. Let's see. If you jumped in late, guys, you can watch the video over again. You can check out the live stream later on, and they'll cover all that stuff. So don't be afraid if you jumped in late. The thing will end eventually, and it'll be up there forever. You can see it forever. Why are the piston bolt carrier groups nickel coated? Basically, the reason why we did that, it has a lot to do with lubricity and then the anti-tilt runners on there. We needed those to be a little bit more slick, so when they're sliding in the buffer tube, you won't build up friction back there. So it just made more sense to do the whole thing rather than just that back part. Maybe do a live stream on the weekend. What? We're out doing stuff on the weekend. We're shooting on the weekend. That's where you need to be. Don't worry about this ammo crisis and nonsense. Go shoot $900 worth of 9mm or one box of 50, however you like to call it. But get out and shoot on the weekends. Go do some adventure stuff. Take your rifle with you. Take your LMT. That's one of the things that, as much as we are a defense company, we're very much interested in the lifestyle of what gun ownership is and calls for it. That's why on our Instagram, Facebook, sometimes you'll see hunting pictures. There's a lot of these guns, especially the MWS, that was designed to do hunting. Some of the calibers we came out when that released in 2009, 243, 338 Federal, 7mm odd 8, all hunting calibers. Not to mention, we did 6.5 before it was cool. So back in 2009, 6.5 wasn't really, I mean, that wasn't a big thing. 260 was bigger back then than 6.5 was. 6.5 didn't really take off until about 4 years ago. That's when it really got going. And some contracts picked it up and they started playing with it. But 2016, 2015, and that was when really when 6.5 was kicking off. But yeah, so we've always been interested in the hunting and the sports side of MSR or modern sporting rifle ownership. So yeah, get out there and do stuff with your guns. Send us pictures. Go backpacking with the thing. Go up into the mountains and shoot some tin cans or something. Send me the videos. I love seeing them. I'll put them up on the thing. We'll make you famous. So is LMT still making stuff for nights? This has got to be a troll. This has got to be. No, we're not. Nights doesn't make stuff for us. We don't make stuff for nights. They do their own thing. They're good at it. We do our own thing. We're better. So moving on. What distributors get your products and rifles? RSR, Sports South, Lipsy, Xanders, none of them really. RSR was a big one for a long time. Back in 2016, a lot of we separated from some of them separated from us. Just history, and it really comes down to situations like we're seeing now where it's just hard to deliver. Distributors, big distributors like RSR can only carry so many brands and can only do so much business. They can't have every single AR out there. So they'll pick the ones that work best with their people and their dealer network and stuff like that. We're happy right now with what we've got. We are looking at bringing on some more distribution and some more dealers when we get caught up, but obviously we need to get there first and start delivering, fill that website up before we make promises to other people about distribution. So, yeah, that's a little bit about it. Hey, speaking of new stuff, you guys, I don't know if you've seen this, the new hoodies. Boom, right there. These are super comfy. So if you live up here in the north, or the Yankees, as my uncle calls us, he's from North Carolina. They lost the war, so we'll just leave it at that. It's a great sweater. Keeps you warm if you're out plowing snow or shoveling. If you don't have a John Deere or something like that, you're poor. It's a great sweater for all that. So pick up one of the hoodies. This is the new Mars logo. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's on a shirt that's on the website. There's a hat that's got it as well. But this is the new Mars logo that Randy designed here, and it's pretty cool. It's got the sword or the spear and the shield, very reminiscent of the Greek gods and the kind of history of the Mars. So definitely check it out. It's a great sweater. Not cheap feeling like some of the ones you get at other companies and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys will like it. So we'll answer a couple more. We're just over an hour on this thing, and I know some people are like, it's time to go. So if you got a couple good questions, nothing about green anodized, nothing about when I'm going to see this part or that part, give me something cool, like some trivia or something that you really want to know about LMT history. That's what I like to share with you guys. So let me know. Looks like something from NASA. I guess we could do that. Yeah. You think that Space Force will pick up an LMT? Maybe. No, probably not. Are you using new buffer tubes for the Estonian rifle? Looks a little different finish. No, same buffer tube. DFL, that one might have been wearing off or something. But yeah, standard stuff. Oh, good question. Aaron Estomo, sir. Did you see the meltdown video that Iraq veteran 88 did on the LMT Piston? I believe the bolt carrier broke. So basically what had happened on that one, on the gas key, that was an older one. We changed the material on the actual carrier, but this guy right here, it mushroomed out. And when it mushroomed out, it grabbed the inside of the charging handle and it slowed the gun down. So there's friction from metal on metal contact. So we changed the finish, changed the material, changed the heat treat, and it doesn't happen anymore. When we did our Estonia contract, we had to do, I don't know how many thousands of rounds without failure related to the weapon system. So obviously they took into account ammo or light primer strikes and magazines and stuff like that. But when it came to the gun, we have yet to see a failure. I would love to do redemption video with Iraq veteran 8888. So if you guys know Eric over there, tell him that we're going to bring it on. Let's do it. Whatever we got to do, we'll make it happen. Space Force Blaster would be the CSW probably. In the pistol, standard pistol runs carbine. Carbine buffer weight. What buffer do you use in the pistol? What weight? We don't use an H or H2, H3. We want to run standard. So standard carbine spring, standard buffer. There you go. If you only had to build one rifle that would last and only one rifle you could take, would you do DI or piston, and what length? You know, honestly, let's see here. I'd probably do I would do this exact gun right here. Maybe not with the attack R. I might run the NX8, but 12.5 upper and a 12.5 barrel. Because what you can do with this, you can take this out to 400 or 500 yards and still have your terminal ballistics. It's easy in and out of vehicles. You know, it's good balance. It's not too heavy. When you put a suppressor on, it doesn't get super long. So I think this guy right here is just about right. I don't think I'd go too crazy with it. This one is a select fire model, so you got that fun stuff going on. But this is probably what I would run. Piston is nice. I like the piston. But piston comes with, you know, its own little bit of things. So DI is simple. That's the way it goes. Let's see. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else cool? Real quick. We'll give it 3 more minutes. 2 more minutes. We'll be done. Defender line and Mars line. Big difference. Ambi. Mars. Modular, ambidextrous rifle system. You can lock the bolt back. You can drop it. Magazine on both sides. Say magazine catch right there. Safety on both sides. All right. Defender is standard. Defender is not Mars. So it's your standard M16 or AR-15. Super Bowl prediction. I don't watch basketball, so couldn't tell you who's going to score the most home runs. What's on the shelf over my shoulder? That one? Yeah, we'll just pretend like we didn't see that. Maybe some other time, guys. Get a couple rum and cokes in me. Let's see. We got time for one more question, 1 more minute. U.S. government contract rifles. We've never really done big government contract rifles. You know, our big thing is the grenade launcher M203s. So that's where you've seen a lot of LMTs. Let's see right here. What else? Best route to get an existing Mars lower Cerakote to match. Yeah, you find any local Cerakoter. That's going to be the best thing. 30 more seconds. Clock's ticking, guys. Please consider the 5.56 VBS over the barrel. Be nice to pair on the 14.5. It actually works best on a 12-inch in this guy. Ask me how I know. What else? Anti-rotational QDs. No. It's just too much work to do for, you know, no one's really asking for it. There's some people that ask for it, but, you know, when you run a sling and stuff like that with all your gear, it stays pretty much where it needs to be. All right, guys, that's it for now. I really appreciate the showing up of people. We got some good likes, good viewership, a lot of good questions in here. I like the feedback. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, especially if you have a Mally or fur missile. I like to see those guys out there. So take pictures and send them to us with your LMT and your Mally. That'd be cool. Come and join us for the next one. It'll be the first Monday of every month at 1700 standard. We'll answer your questions, whether they're silly or legit. And we will, you know, do this until we can't anymore, until YouTube says no more, or Google says, hey, you're too cool for our streaming services. We'll be here for you guys. You know, we are a customer service based company. We take a lot of pride in it. And Carl Lewis, you know, he drills into me every day that we got to make sure we take care of the customers. We are working on getting more product out there. Keep that in mind. We're not going to leave you hanging. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to drive carefully home through the snow and ice, but I've got Toyota, so it's all good. Don't have to worry about your Jeeps. You might have some problems here in Iowa. So with that, thank you, and have a good night.